The film opens with a dramatic storm over the Empire State Building in New York City. Lightning flashes across the sky, thunder rumbles ominously, and the top of the iconic building is suddenly engulfed in swirling clouds. From within the clouds, two towering figures emerge: Poseidon, god of the sea, and Zeus, god of the sky. Their confrontation is intense. Zeus demands that Poseidon's son return the stolen lightning bolt, the most powerful weapon in the universe. Zeus believes Poseidon's demigod child, Percy Jackson, is the thief. Poseidon, however, denies the accusation, claiming his son would never commit such an act. Zeus warns that if the bolt is not returned by the summer solstice, there will be war, an all-out battle between the gods that could destroy the world. Cut to Percy Jackson, a seemingly ordinary high school student living in Manhattan. He suffers from dyslexia and ADHD, making school difficult for him. Percy is sitting underwater at the bottom of a school pool, something he finds oddly calming. He's been underwater for nearly 7 minutes, and when he finally comes up, his best friend, Grover Underwood, scolds him for disappearing like that. Percy replies that he feels more at peace under the water than anywhere else. Percy's troubled school life includes mean teachers and social ridicule, but he has no idea that he is anything but ordinary. Later, in class during a field trip to a museum, Percy begins to experience strange visions when he looks at ancient Greek statues. His substitute teacher, Mrs. Dodds, suddenly transforms into a terrifying fury, a winged monster with glowing eyes. She attacks Percy and demands the lightning bolt. Percy is completely confused and terrified, but Mr. Brunner, his Latin teacher in a wheelchair, tosses him a pen that turns into a glowing sword. Instinctively, Percy defends himself and strikes down Mrs. Dodds, who vanishes in a burst of light. Everyone in the museum, including Grover, acts as if Mrs. Dodds never existed. Percy feels like he's going crazy. He confronts Mr. Brunner about what happened, but Brunner denies everything and says Percy must be imagining things. But Percy's sense of confusion deepens when he overhears Mr. Brunner and Grover talking privately about him, and the mention of his safety and time running out. At home, Percy lives with his loving mother, Sally Jackson, and his abusive stepfather, Gabe Ugliano, a rude and disgusting man who only married Sally to leech off her. Percy and Sally share a close bond. That night, Sally decides it's time to tell Percy the truth, though she's clearly hesitant. She takes Percy on a sudden trip to a cabin near Montauk Beach, her childhood retreat and a place important to Percy's past. But things take a terrifying turn. A monstrous minotaur, a creature with the body of a man and the head of a bull, chases them through the woods. Grover, now revealed to be a satyr, half man, half goat, helps them escape. As they drive toward a mysterious camp, the minotaur attacks, forcing their car to crash. Sally tries to protect Percy, but is grabbed by the minotaur and disappears in a flash of golden dust, seemingly killed. Filled with grief and rage, Percy picks up the minotaur's horn and, in a surge of strength and fury, defeats the monster. He then collapses and loses consciousness. Percy wakes up days later in an unfamiliar place surrounded by nature. This is Camp Half-Blood, a sanctuary for demigods, children born from the union of gods and mortals. Grover is alive and at his side, now fully walking on goat legs. Percy is confused and demands answers. Grover explains that Percy is a demigod and that the world of Greek gods is real. Mount Olympus still exists, just in another dimension connected to modern Earth. And the monsters from Greek mythology are real too. Camp Half-Blood is a training ground for demigods, and it's protected by a magical barrier. Percy meets Annabeth Chase, daughter of Athena, a highly skilled and intelligent warrior. She's initially suspicious of Percy, but recognizes that he may be more important than he realizes. Percy also meets Luke Castellan, son of Hermes, a strong, charismatic camper who takes Percy under his wing. Luke shows Percy around the camp and trains him in sword fighting, preparing him for the dangerous life of a demigod. Mr. Brunner, Percy's teacher, arrives at the camp, but now he's no longer in a wheelchair. He reveals his true identity, Chiron, the wise and immortal centaur who trains heroes. He tells Percy the truth. The gods are real, and Percy is the son of one of the big three gods, Zeus, Poseidon, or Hades. But since the gods made a pact never to father demigod children again, after previous children nearly destroyed the world, Percy's existence is a violation of that oath. Soon it's confirmed. Percy is the son of Poseidon, god of the seas. The moment Percy steps into water, his wounds heal instantly, and his powers awaken. Camp members look at him with awe, and some with fear. Percy's arrival has upset the balance of power, and worse, he is the prime suspect in the theft of Zeus's lightning bolt. A war among the gods looms, and Percy must now embark on a dangerous quest to find and return the bolt before the summer solstice. But Percy has another mission as well. He wants to find his mother, whom he believes is still alive in the underworld. Percy, Grover, and Annabeth are granted permission to leave camp and begin their journey. Chiron gives Percy a magical shield, and Luke gives him a pair of winged Converse sneakers. Their destination, Hades' realm in the underworld. They'll have to find the entrance, survive attacks from mythological monsters, and uncover the real thief behind the lightning bolt. Their first stop is Annie M's Garden Gnome Emporium, a roadside attraction run by a kind old woman who offers them food and shelter. But this woman is actually Medusa, the snake-haired monster who can turn anyone to stone with her gaze. The trio narrowly defeats her after a fierce battle, and Percy decapitates her using a reflective surface to avoid her deadly eyes. He then sends her head to the gods via express delivery, his message to them that he's not to be underestimated. As they journey westward toward Los Angeles, where the entrance to the underworld lies, they face more tests of courage and strength, battling hydras, deciphering riddles, and surviving traps. Along the way, Percy slowly begins to understand and accept his identity, not just as Poseidon's son, but as a hero with his own purpose. As Percy, Annabeth, and Grover leave Camp Half-Blood on their quest to retrieve Zeus's stolen lightning bolt, the weight of the god's wrath looms heavily. They only have a few days left before the summer solstice, the deadline to return the bolt and prevent a devastating war among the Olympians. Their first clue points toward a key location, Medusa's lair. Medusa's lair, a petrifying encounter. The trio arrives at what appears to be an isolated garden shop in New Jersey, run by a mysterious woman named Auntie M. The lush greenery, overgrowth, and marble statues of people frozen in expressions of fear are suspicious. Annabeth immediately senses danger. It turns out Auntie M is Medusa, the infamous Gorgon with snakes for hair. Her gaze can turn anyone to stone. She traps them inside, revealing her true form, terrifying serpentine eyes and hissing locks. She tries to tempt Percy into joining her, claiming he is misunderstood just like she was. But Percy refuses and bravely fights back. In a tense battle, Percy uses a reflective surface, just like Perseus in the myth, to avoid looking directly at her. Eventually, he decapitates Medusa with a swift sword strike using Riptide, his celestial bronze sword. They ship her head to the gods on Mount Olympus as a message. This moment is a major turning point for Percy, proving his courage, but also foreshadowing the dangerous enemies ahead. The gateway to the underworld, seeking Hades in Hollywood. After surviving Medusa, the trio follows more clues that lead them westward. Percy suspects Hades might have stolen the bolt, trying to provoke a war among the gods to rise to power. Their next destination is Los Angeles, where the gateway to the underworld lies hidden. Along the way, they stop at a roadside hotel called the Lotus Casino in Las Vegas. At first glance, it's an incredible paradise, endless games, food, and entertainment. The kids are hypnotized into losing track of time. But Percy soon realizes that they've been trapped. The casino is enchanted, designed to keep demigods forever. They break free just in time, discovering that several days have passed. They're dangerously close to the solstice deadline. Journey into the underworld, facing the Lord of the Dead. The trio finally arrives in Los Angeles and finds the entrance to the underworld inside the Hollywood sign. They cross into the realm of Hades, a place of shadows, spirits, and chilling silence. The mood shifts completely. Hopelessness surrounds them. In the underworld, they confront Hades, who denies stealing the lightning bolt. Instead, he accuses Percy of stealing something even more valuable, his helm of darkness, a symbol of his power. Percy is stunned. Someone has framed him. Then comes a shocking twist. Luke, their supposed friend back at Camp Half-Blood, has betrayed them. He stole the bolt and the helm, working for a darker force, Kronos, the Titan King who is seeking to rise again by turning the gods against each other. To make matters worse, Hades refuses to let them leave without his helm. But with quick thinking, Percy uses the pearls given by Poseidon's messenger. Each pearl can transport one person to safety. Percy sacrifices his own escape to ensure Annabeth and Grover survive. Ultimately, Percy fights off Hades' minions and escapes at the last second with the bolt in hand. The final confrontation, Mount Olympus revealed. With only moments left, Percy races to New York City. At the top of the Empire State Building, a secret elevator takes him to the hidden Mount Olympus, realm of the gods. The grand, ethereal halls are both beautiful and intimidating. There, Percy comes face to face with Zeus, the king of the gods, and Poseidon, his estranged father. Tension crackles in the air. Zeus demands the bolt. Percy explains everything. How it was Luke, son of Hermes, who stole it under Kronos' influence. Zeus remains skeptical, but accepts the return of the bolt and avoids starting a war. Poseidon thanks Percy for his bravery, but their reunion is emotionally distant. Percy yearns for a connection, but gods are forbidden from directly interfering in their children's lives. Still, Poseidon tells him, "You are my son." That alone is a great honor. It's not the embrace Percy hoped for, but it's something. Return to camp and a shocking revelation. Percy returns to camp half-blood a hero. But peace doesn't last long. One night, Luke lures Percy into the woods and reveals everything, his deep resentment toward the gods and his allegiance to Kronos. He believes the gods are flawed, arrogant, and deserve to fall. He offers Percy a chance to join him in building a new world. Percy refuses, leading to a fierce duel. Luke is powerful, but Percy's determination and swordsmanship win. Luke escapes, vowing that this isn't over. Closing scene, a new beginning. The movie ends with Percy finally feeling a sense of identity and belonging. Though the future is uncertain and darker threats loom ahead, he has embraced who he is, a son of Poseidon, a demigod, and a hero. As he trains at Camp Half-Blood, Annabeth reminds him, "This is just the beginning." Percy nods. He now understands the world is far bigger than he imagined, filled with gods, monsters, ancient prophecies, and choices that could change the fate of humanity.